Welcome to this new Flight Simulator update movie. A new beta build is available for Sim update number 15 and it will bump the version up to version 1.37.8.0. As always, there's a huge disclaimer that you need to modify or clean up your community folder, right? Because it could result in unexpected let's say issues like performance and unexpected behavior. So what I always do is if I don't experience issues, you can leave them in. But if you do experience issues, then you can move them out. And then I would say try again if the sim remains more stable and performs better. So first of all, there's a general bug fix, FUG, right? And I'm really wondering this likely a bug, right? So because it needs to be a bug fix. So they said they fine-tuned the memory, texture size, balance settings on the Xbox Series S, right? More tuning to come for the next version. So this is only specifically applicable to the Xbox Series S, so not specifically for the PC version. Then we've got the Garmin G3000 and G5000. So the system will no longer automatically switch the CDI source from FMS to lock during ILS lock approaches unless the autopilot's lock mode is armed and ready to capture the localizer course. So keep that in mind that if you're doing an ILS lock approach, that won't switch anymore from FMS to lock unless the lock mode is switched on. Then we've got the Garmin G3X Touch. And as we all know, right, this one received a lot of updates already in the previous builds also, but that makes sense because it's completely rebuilt. So first of all, there's added the ability to enable the map and NextRad overlay. So a new functionality to enable on the NextRad overlay, which adds some more functionality. The other one is that the opening a nearest page after closing, it now resets the selected item to the first nearest item in the list. Also a nice fix. And they fixed an issue where the PFD AFCS status box would inappropriately display a numeric indication next to some vertical modes. So that's also a fix. And in addition to that, they also fixed an overflow text issue with the same status box. Next item, also related to the PFD AFCS status box, vertical speed target indication now use the up and down arrows to denote positive, negative vertical speed. So it's now easier to, I would say, identify that. Then we've got the MFD page navigation bar. There's also a change for that one. It now changes its layout appropriately when swapping the MFD pane between left and right sides. So that was an issue where if you did swap it from left to right, didn't work correctly, they fixed it now. Then pushing the PFD knob will now sync the selected heading or course depending on the action bound to the knob. It's also good. As well as they fixed an issue where the page title and icon were not displayed when the MFD info page was open. And the next item also related to the MFD, but in this case specifically to the engine page, where the page icon was not being displayed correctly. Then they made a change to the range of the nearest map. It will no longer affect the range of the MFD map page map, right? So if you, let's say, kind of change the zooming phase or the range for the nearest map, it directly affected also the MFD map page, but that's now also being fixed. So they're now, I would say, independently working from each other. Then the fixed minor formatting errors in the transponder menu and the CNS data bar transponder button. And last one, the off data or off route direct to flight plans from external navigator are now displayed correctly in the MFD or FPL flight plan page and the PFD flight plan inset, right? So for some reason, if you planned using one of the external navigators and there was a direct to in the flight plan, then it didn't work correctly. So that's now being fixed. Then the GNS 430W and 530W. First fix is the GNS units no longer require an internal autopilot to automatically switch CDI source from GPS to VLOC during the ILS approaches. And the second one is that they also added some logic to switch the CDI source from GPS to VLOC during the ILS lock approaches. It now runs independently on each GNS unit, so that's good. And with that, they fixed an issue where it would, in some cases, work incorrectly which could be encountered in if two GNS units in same airplane were configured to maintain independent flight plans. So there are some aircraft right where you get I would say two of those GNS systems, and you could say have independent flight plans. I'm not sure why you would want to do it, but maybe someone who's got more experience with this, I would say, kind of configuration can elaborate on it using the comment box below this video. But in those scenarios that would, I would say, result in issues, they now fixed it. Then for the aircraft fixes. First of all, there's a P51S fix. It was losing power on full throttle. That doesn't really make sense, right? If you want to go full throttle, you really want to go full throttle. The helicopters, the multi-engine helicopters, it's now possible to bind the governor switches and engine trimmers via the control options menu for each engine individually. So if you have a helicopter, and I think one was released recently, you can now go to the control options and then change it, and I would say you can individually control those engines. Really cool. And there's also another one for the multi-engine helicopters. They cleaned up the event ID names for the new events related to the engine governors and trimmers, and that specifically is for the developer kit. Then the cup crafters both received an update. Both received the same update. That's, I would say, what we see regularly with these kind of aircrafts. And that's the transponder ground mode is no longer user selectable. So the transponder will automatically switch between ground and alt modes based on whether the airplane is on the ground. So that's cool. Then also world fix, and that fixes the issue where the missing aerials and random crashes when multiple packages cover the same zone. So it's likely if you bought, for example, packages from the world updates, which are, I would say, the normal packages. And in addition to that, there was, let's say, a third-party package maybe, or maybe it happened even with the SOO packages, not sure. Then it could cause a crash, and that's now being fixed. The new peripheral, they updated and fixed the YOLM and arrow profiles. There was an issue with that. So if you use this specific profile, then you you might have experienced some issues. That's now fixed. As well as there's a new controls. There added new actions to support the twin-engine helicopters. Besides that, there are some specific developer updates, but we're mostly not going to go to it. So that's all it is for, I'd say, this week, right? So new beta build. We're coming very close to the release of this update. That's scheduled to be happening later this month. Still, there's nothing about the A320 V2, although it was officially announced by Asobo that they will include it in sim update number 15. However, it's always, I say, the question if that's really the case, although they now confirmed it. So let's see what happens. Here ends this video. I hope you liked it. If you liked it, then consider to use the like button. If you got questions or comments, then feel free to post them in the comment box below. And if you want to stay up to date about new videos I'm posting, then make sure that you're subscribing to my channel. Thanks for watching and see you next time.